Welcome to NumbersLie Sports Network. We're back after these short messages. NumbersLie Sports, NumbersLie the podcast. We're back at you with another season preview. You guessed it. This time we're gonna take a turn here. We're gonna do the Boston Celtics. We just believed it was appropriate to go ahead and cover the Boston Celtics. We're gonna go ahead and do their team preview, and obviously we're gonna cover the elephant in the room, the Ime Udoka bombshell that everyone has been talking about. I'm not going to talk about Brett Favre still at $5 million, but we'll talk about Ime Udoka today. That's another episode. But so as far as the Boston Celtics go, as far as basketball wise, last year the Boston Celtics were amazing. They ended the regular season on something like a 26-3 run. 26 wins, three losses, something like that. It's not accurate, but they ended up 51-31, second in the East to Miami. Miami overachieved. We're gonna talk about that later on. So yeah, the Boston Celtics ended up last season. Obviously, went to the finals, lost to the champions, the Warriors, those wily veterans. So and Ime Udoka led them to that run. But Ime Udoka, obviously, it came out that he was allegedly in a consensual relationship that turned non-consensual allegedly, and the Boston Celtics laid down the hammer of him getting suspended for the entire 22-23 season. So what are our thoughts? Obviously we've been talking about it for the past couple of days, but let's let the public know what our thoughts are on this platform here.
From what I've heard and what I've seen, I wasn't there, but the suspension seems very warranted. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get what all the fuss is about, honestly. Like, consensual turn non-consensual mean leave it alone, nigga. Like, she don't want you no more. And clearly, and from the reports that I've seen, the organization came to him, asked him to stop, and he kept going. Like, he was a little thirsty.
Did the organization give him a notice to tell him to stop, leave her alone?
Yeah, I just said that.
Back in July, they came to him, correct? Right after the finals, and apparently, mostly, if not everybody in the organization knew, and told him to stop, and apparently it kept progressing.
And so it's like,
yeah, you doing it, bro. Like, you gotta go.
So my thoughts are, and I think Kendrick Perkins touched on it, and Stephen A. Smith touched on it as well. It was just, again, I'm not saying that Ime Udoka was wrong, wasn't wrong, because he was. Obviously, he did the crime. Obviously, he accepted it. He accepted the suspension. So obviously, he's not trying to say he's innocent or anything like that. And I'm not saying that either. But I agree with what Stephen A. Smith said today on First Take. He said basically, okay, I get that, y'all suspended him, but like why? Like why? First of all, why the suspension and not firing? And I know you touched on that, Juwan, but then also, why was this so public? And then also, like with the press conference today, Brad Stevens, got emotional about talking about the women on the staff, but Kendrick Perkins brought up a good point in saying, okay, but you're mad that the women on the staff business got out in the streets, but it was y'all who leaked it in the first place. So what was that?
How is it leaked? If you're name a coach you've ever seen suspended for anything and there was no information talked about with it. Name a player who was suspended for anything and there was no information presented to the public about it. Like, this ain't different from nothing else. This ain't different from the Donald Sterling tapes leaking. This ain't different from Sarver's stuff leaking, John Gruden stuff leaking. Like, what's the difference between Ime Udoka being suspended for the year and every other person in any sports suspended for it, no matter how long it is?
And you saying, why is it public? Like, if Udoka got fired and then no one said anything, but you see on your ticker, Boston Celtics coach got fired, you would want to know why he got fired.
We live in an information time. Like, you're gonna get all the information that they're gonna let you have.
So yeah, Udoka, he's in the wrong completely here. And hearing all the evidence, he deserved to be suspended. Initially I thought that just two sides of the story. But knowing that, all right, the organization warned you to leave her alone and you wouldn't let this girl alone, like, no, you got to
And
go, bro.
also, was it just one or was it multiple?
It
I
don't
don't
even
know.
matter, bro.
Yeah,
It
doesn't
don't even matter
matter.
the number. One is enough.
I'm just asking what they said. I'm just asking what was said, allegedly.
They haven't given all information. They literally just said a staff member. But and I guess that's the thing. We just literally just heard Matt Barnes go online saying someone in like close to the situation said it's way deeper and told Matt Barnes exactly what it was. So for the Boston Celtics to come out and only say he had inappropriate relationships with someone in an organization did him a favor.
Yeah.
And that's what I told you earlier today, Tweet, in the chat. I told you if the public were to really keep digging, because you said, well, do we know everything? And I said, if we really did know everything, trust me, it'll be way worse than what's on the forefront out in public right now. I really do think that they did him justice by not saying everything, by not completely ruining his reputation so that he may work again in the NBA. I also think that Brad Stevens had full right to feel the way he felt about the women in the organization, because with this coming out, the first thing people did was, you know what I'm saying, go to the one female, the African American female on staff that played in the WNBA. She caught it first, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know, clearly you have people that are just pulling up a list of Boston Celtics employees and poking and prodding at all of these women to see, and not even just poking and prodding, literally trying to go to all their social medias, finding out their family history, if they're married, if they're not, this, that, and the third, trying to find out who this person is or who these people are. So Brad Stevens was well in his right to feel the way he felt about, you know, the way that the women in the Boston Celtics organization are being treated or talked about in this situation involving Udoka.
So I have a question. So the women in this situation, are they not being mentioned because of a possible abuse situation or like harassment situation? Or is it more so, I'm just trying to understand like why all part, like, and I'm not trying to, you know, play the name game, you know what I'm saying? Point the fingers like Malika Andrews is trying to do today. But I'm just trying to understand like why all parties involved wasn't disclosed.
I think it does have a little bit to do with possible harassment. Again, because this was brought to Udoka's attention in July and they asked him to stop and he didn't. To what extent, again, we don't know. But this was already known within the organization, and he was asked by upper management to chill on whatever he was doing, and he didn't. So
does that mean that
public harassment is the main thing?
So does that mean that the situation started out consensual, but then
I think so. That's
what they said.
That's what it said. It said it did start out consensual. And, you know, if they asked him to stop, then it seems like, you know, she was the one that wanted to end whatever was going on. And he kept pushing for it.
Got a question. So has there, in y'all experience, in y'all memory, has there ever been a situation, any situation in sports where someone was disciplined, whether it be coach or player, conduct detrimental to the team, but they didn't say what it was? Has that ever happened? Just asking.
Well,
yes, they say all the time. They say conduct detrimental to the team. They never tell you what the conduct was.
And that's why I use that phrase, because I've heard that countless times, and I believe that may be what Stephen A. is talking about.
That's not why he was suspended. That wasn't the verbiage used at all.
I know. So all I'm saying is, why not use that verbiage in this instance and keep it in-house, like similar to what Stephen A. Smith was saying?
Because it wasn't conduct detrimental to the team. It was literally he broke an organizational rule. Like that's what they said. He broke an organizational rule. They didn't say an NBA rule. Literally just an organization. They didn't say conduct detrimental to the team. That's a
But
nigga's.
it is though.
That's
It is.
That's like yelling at your coach.
But and that's what I was gonna say. I think it's more about when that term is used. A lot of times you hear conduct detrimental to the team
on a player.
Also used with players when it comes to insubordination with coaching and staffing.
Yeah.
Like the fact that this is media coverage is detrimental to the team.
I get that, but I feel like that's a player, like terminology for a player getting suspended. Like, have you ever heard a coach being suspended for conduct detrimental to the team?
No,
that was my question.
No, I've never.
Yeah.
Who?
What was the NFL coach? He coached for 1 year.
John Gruden.
Yeah.
John Gruden.
Didn't he get fired? He coached in the NFL for like 1 year, but he got fired because he was married, but he had a dancer or something on him at his bar.
Oh,
Urban Meyer.
You talking about Urban Meyer?
Right. Like, what's the difference in that situation?
Yeah, what's the precedent? What happened with Urban Meyer?
We had videos. There was actual evidence of him.
No, here's the thing. Urban Meyer didn't do anything wrong. Like in that situation. He was at his bar.
But was that I thought the point was it being detrimental to the team though. You asked what situation did a coach ended up being fired or something because of something detrimental to the team?
That wasn't. He literally coached for like 6 weeks after that. He was fired in week 13. That was like week 8 or something like that. I'm saying he coached after that.
He did.
Okay.
So one more question. A couple more questions. One comment I read today, and I'm not sure how accurate this source was. It was on Twitter. You never know. But I read somewhere where they said allegedly, possibly, a player might have basically snitched on him.
I saw that. I didn't look too deep into it.
Yeah, I didn't look too deep.
I saw it.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I don't know. You never know. I don't know.
Either way you cut it, though, he's definitely in the wrong, and he deserves to be.
He was definitely in the wrong. And now, given that, again, I must ask, why not just fire him?
Yeah, I'm to be honest, I'm really just annoyed about the whole situation because I honestly just feels like this situation is getting way more coverage than it needs to be. Like, this is a man's personal life, and it's being broadcasted as if, like, I don't want to say he stole $5 million. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel that.
Like, it's really annoying to me that, like, his life is being put under a magnifying glass like this, and we as the media don't even have all the details. We don't have all the information, and now all we just over here is just pontificating on what the hell happened. And it's so annoying to me.
Of the day.
Now we just all conspiracy theorists just sitting here like, yeah, I heard a teammate snitched on it, and that's maybe I heard the girl was married to one of the higher ups in the company, and that's the reason why they really. I heard he don't want to quit because if he quit, he ain't gonna get paid. He got to get fired in order to get paid.
Real quick.
I'm hearing all this type of stuff, and it's like, for what? Like, what is the purpose in all of this?
Hey, real quick sidebar. So do y'all know about his contract status and everything? What he was about to get?
What I did hear was so contract status wise, with him making it to the finals, I want to say if they made it back or if they won, he would have been in a position to triple his salary.
I heard triple.
I do think that in order to get paid, he does have to be fired. But I also heard that, and again, like Minno's saying, we can only go by what we heard or what we read. But I also read that he was given the option of being suspended or being fired, and he took the option of being suspended. So maybe it's vice versa as far as the money. Maybe he does get paid if he's getting suspended.
No, he don't get paid this upcoming year.
Nope, because I saw the thing today. I saw the press conference, and the old dude next to Brad Stevens, whoever he was, said that there was a significant financial loss in his suspension.
So
he don't get paid. He don't get paid the entire year.
I can't answer why the 1 year suspension, but I can say that he chose that option. Well, supposedly he chose that option.
Supposedly, because he
over getting fired.
He said, "I accept what they did." So I don't know if he necessarily chose that. I don't know. But again, maybe he's right, because it's like we just over here pontificating. And again, like that's within all of this. That's why all of this is just very annoying to me, how it was done.
But again, though, like we mentioned before we started recording, we brought up at least 3 coaches, college and pro, that we knew, that had relationships with either players, you know what I'm saying, or somebody in the office. And it was all made public. It wasn't a long drawn out. It wasn't long drawn out coverage. I mean, Quinn Snyder's literally has been coaching in the NBA since then, and he was having sex with students.
What about Phil Jackson and Jeannie Buss?
That's not an organizational rule, though. That's what I'm saying. I think that's what we're missing out. No one's saying this is.
But is that not detrimental to the team, though? Because if you the GM of the New York Knicks, and Jeannie Buss is the owner of the LA Lakers, I mean, couldn't that be like some type of workplace environment where like certain people
you're making up rules, though. This is literally in their rules.
I think that the owner makes the rules for each organization.
Yeah, this is.
And her father was okay with this relationship.
That's what I'm saying. We try to. It's not right either way, but if it's not a rule, it's not a rule.
I will say if you've been watching Legendary, the Lakers joint, I will say that I really think that he was okay with this because Shaq wanted Phil Jackson.
Yeah,
and
he had to swallow his pride on that.
Shaquille O'Neal happy.
If your president of basketball is a playboy,
that's the only reason he was okay with this. But the thing is, the owner of the team was okay with that. Not saying that he was okay with it going on up and down within the organization. Who knows? But with that particular relationship, he was okay with it.
Well, so let's just say.
I'm sorry, Trey, but real quick. Clearly, Boston tried to be okay with it for a little bit as well. We caught you, chill out. You know what I'm saying? And he went back. So it's not like it was the first, like a one-time strike deal.
That's not what I heard.
That's not allegedly, though. That's still allegedly.
That's not what I heard. What I heard was that they found out back in July and they opened up an investigation. That's when they first told him to.
Yeah.
And it took them 2 to 3 months in order for the investigation to close before they released certain details regarding what happened. So I think that's why it's come out the way that it is, and we got all these different stories because we truly don't know. But I mean, from what I heard from the jump today, it took 2 months for the investigation to actually get thoroughly sought out and vetted before they actually was like, yo, there was a real consensual relationship and it's against the rules. Therefore, he needs to be fired. They didn't mention anything about the other parties involved being fired, but strictly Udoka.
Well, I'll just say this, and just to have some closure, I said it in the chat, I'll say it here. It's unfortunate that this black successful, very successful, up and coming black coach who has 20 plus years to go. You know, he could be the Black Popovich. You know what I'm saying? Now it hurts my heart, especially since he's from Pop's tree, to see him go through this. And now it's like, oh, okay, you did this, and now you're tarnished, and blah blah blah. It's terrible, especially since we know, historically. Well, I know firsthand how companies move, how they can do things under the rug and kind of poke at black men. That's all I'm saying. It's unfortunate, and I hate it. But at the end of the day, I know that Udoka will still get a job in a heartbeat, and he will. Whether it be this year or next year, he will land somewhere and still be successful. It's just unfortunate. That's my.
This is day 2.
Oh my God! Shit, we'll take
of them covering this scandal. Let's see how long this scandal will be covered, as opposed to the Brett Favre scandal, which I feel like has only been covered for about an hour. Like it seems like every show gave it about 10 minutes.
How
and
much
then
money?
Forgot about it.
How much money?
Like I've literally been looking for Brett Favre stories to read, and the only people who really talked about it in depth was Nick Wright, and Broussard, and his partner. Them the only three people who really talked about it in depth to actually give you information on what the fuck actually happened, what really went down, and everything. Everybody else just gave their reactions like, "Oh, he's just a dirtbag," blah 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 blah. All right, next time. And it's just like, bro, this nigga stole $5 million. All right, I'm done.
Well, and I ain't gonna lie, man. At the risk of losing a viewer or two, which I hope we don't, you know what? You're not gonna hear about it for the same reason that America isn't upfront, that white people utilize welfare the most, that white people had the most abortions. These are the reasons why that you won't hear the Brett Favre shit. For those same fucking reasons.
Tabernacle.
And this shit.
Yeah.
And this shit. I'm with you 100%.
I appreciate Nick
Wright. The same reasons we don't know that information without reading is the same reasons that we won't hear shit about Brett Favre.
Let's say you want to hide a secret, put it in the book.
Right. Well, yeah, I appreciate Nick Wright a little more than I used to in the past. I thought he was a Bron stan, but like
Nick Wright
we need to get
Nick Wright.
He show, man.
He be on his shit. So
Nick Wright
that's another thing I want to talk about, man.
We got a black wife though. He down.
We need to put something together where we critique the reporters. Like, there's nobody critiquing what the reporters are saying and like making them accountable for their statements or anything. It's like they just say whatever they want.
Draymond, only person is doing
it. Yeah, exactly. Like reporters say whatever they want, and then they just pretty much get a pass because it's their job to stir up drama. And it's like, no, bro, you still got to be accurate with your shit.
Facts, big facts. We're gonna do that. We're gonna help do that. New media, pound new media. But so any other final thoughts on Udoka? But I'd like to talk about the Celtics. How they gonna fare this year.
I was excited at first. That Brogdon pickup was huge.
Yeah, they got Brogdon, bro. Like they still gonna be an amazing team, especially.
I don't know. I wouldn't say amazing.
Until the Gallinari injury, I thought they had won the offseason. And into the Gallinari injury, and
that's gonna be big, man. Coming off the bench, he can get you 18 and 20 points off the bench.
But
the Robert Williams injury is bigger than that.
I agree.
They're gonna come out. They're gonna come out the gate sputter. I mean, especially with this information now that's detrimental to the team.
Agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like they gonna come out sputtering now. Like
and no backup big because they included in the Malcolm Brogdon trade.
They ain't got no backup Robert Williams, man. That's it done. So
no backup big period. I don't think because again, Daniel Tice was included in the
Pacers deal
in the Brogdon trade.
They got Luke Cornett, who can.
That's your boy, Tweedle.
3-and-D a little bit. Yeah, I had him on my fantasy squad a little bit. I was watching. He's solid, but
so they got 3 centers.
Yep.
And one hurt. 140 and one is Luke Cornett.
140.
Yeah.
Al Horford.
They got Noah Vonleh, who might play those.
Man, shut up, dog.
You don't have to play now, though.
I tell you what, honestly,
I'm not have to play now.
No. You know who could be a sneaky good pickup? Kevin Galley from Florida State. He's on their team.
Okay.
And he reminds me of a less skilled Kouanye, whatever, from Atlanta. Just a big body who can foul out if need be.
6'5". Well, I think that
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think Malcolm Brogdon. I think Malcolm Brogdon will start. Actually, all the reports I've seen about the previews of their teams are saying that Marcus Smart is going to start at the 1. I think Malcolm Brogdon, pending health, is their PG1.
I think they both going to start now.
Yeah, definitely now with the injury to Robert Williams.
Gonna go small.
Yep.
You see a lot of Greg Williams. I think so. He gonna play a little center too on small ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why people don't like Grant Williams. I feel like he does effort, gives you effort. You know,
He's just annoying. He's just so
He
fucking
remind me.
annoying.
He remind me
and he can shoot the three ball.
Big Baby. You remind me.
He
Of
remind
Big
me. He remind me of Leverson. That's
Well,
what
he got more
remind me.
range than Big Baby though. He can shoot that three though.
Yeah,
I think he was like top 15, top 10 in 3-point percentage. Crazy.
he is annoying though. He's saying he annoying as hell.
Yeah, he's just annoying. Yeah, that's all.
But so, how do y'all feel like this? All this BS is going to affect the
Fourth in the East.
team?
Fourth and fifth in the East.
Top tier team.
Fourth or fifth.
Core team.
So is Jason Tatum gonna still have like an MVP season like I thought he would? You think? I still think
so. I would expect him to take that next leap. Seeing how he sputtered in the finals last year, he should take that to heart and the criticism. So I think he should come out strong.
I think this only just solidifies the Brooklyn Nets' chances of coming out of the East even more.
I agree.
Oh, my fault. My fault.
One other thing. So who I think they should pick up though? Because since with the injury to Gallinari, they said they was about to pick up Melo, but didn't. Who should they pick up off this?
I like that Melo pickup if they can get Melo. They need
Dwight Howard,
bro. Exactly.
Dwight Howard.
If I'm
I was
them,
gonna
I'm
say
signing
Boogie.
Dwight Howard tomorrow, bro. Like,
I was
vet
gonna
me
say
in, come in, grab rebounds, protect the paint. That's all we need you to do. You know what I'm saying? Alleviate Al Horford from night to night. You know what I'm saying? Playing heavy minutes. That's all they need until Robert Williams come back.
I think they can pick up both. Can they
not? But I feel like their main issue now is they coaching issues. They gonna have coaching issues. I feel.
You know what? I remember they got Damon Stoudemire on that coach staff.
Okay,
he's not a second assistant now.
He is.
Yeah, but I guess that's the thing that I mean, he's gonna be the next man up after Joe Mazzulla now.
Right. So that's interesting. I rock with Stoudemire, so that'll be dope.
I feel with all this that just transpired, I think that they I initially thought that they would come out on a high note from reaching the finals. I think that they come out similar to how they started the season last year. I don't think that the slow start lasts as long as it did last year. But I do think that they come out sputtering as Minnow said, off and on. They're gonna have nights to where they lose to teams that they should beat, I think. But I think that they'll be able to turn it around a lot quicker than they did last year.
All right, so
we'll play a lot of minutes these first few weeks of the season.
You love Grant Williams, boy, dude.
He the X factor for them. He they TJ Warren.
Well, that's it. That's pretty much it for the Boston Celtics team preview. Appreciate y'all coming out for this team preview. Tune in next time for the NumbersLie Sports Network 30 for 30 team previews. Appreciate y'all. Peace out.